Alright, what's going on here, guys? In this video, I'm going to give you the secret code to building a fantastic physique. And when I say fantastic physique, I'm referring to a very lean and muscular physique. The type of body that you see Hollywood actors rocking for different roles, like Brad Pitt and Troy, Daniel Craig in the Skyfall movie, Henry Cavill, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, Ryan Reynolds. I mean, the list goes on. But that type of physique, which girls are like, damn, guys are like, it's crazy. I'm not referring to like the beefed up kind of bulky bodybuilder football player of today, or just too much mass, because definition comes first. So I'm going to outline the secret code to achieving that physique right now. And believe it or not, it's very simple. Once you get this, you realize you do not have to spend all day in the gym. Rather, 3 workouts per week is drastically more effective. We'll get into that right now. So the first component of having that downright amazing physique is the waist. You want to get your waist very taut. So right now I'm about 5'10". My waist is close to 31 inches, 31, 31 and a half, somewhere in there. And that's around 45% of my height. So you want to get your waist at the right measurement. You can build all the muscle in the world, but if your waist measurement is a few inches too high, you're going to have an extra layer of fat. You're not going to have that sleek proportion, and you'll have too much fat for your muscles to really, have good, solid definition. So ultimately, the first thing you need to do is get your waist down. And the best way to get your waist down is not from a bunch of fat-burning workouts and cardio. It's from getting your nutrition down. And nutrition is ultimately very simple. There's a certain amount of calories that your body requires to maintain its weight. In order to tap into the fat and get leaner, you have to eat less than that. The simplest way to do it is to start intermittent fasting. Skip your breakfast, black coffee in the morning, and then eat 2 big meals a day, and you can be full and satisfied while dropping fat. That's what I do. And let me tell you, I love food and I hate dieting. This is the thing that has allowed me to lean down, and I've used it with all my clients essentially. And most people just run really well on intermittent fasting. Okay, so get the waist down, and secondly, you want to bring your lifts up, and there's a few different movements that really contribute to a great masculine sort of Kinobody physique, and we're going to break down exactly what those are. But as long as you get your waist down, you have the right base to build muscle on. If your waist is too big, it's just not going to create that masculine look because you'll have too much fat, and you won't be able to create that V taper. But while you're dropping fat, like let's say your waist, you got to drop 3 inches or 4 inches or 10 inches off your waist, you want to hit these movements. That way, as you create that solid, taut waist, you have the physique to go with it. So the first exercise that produces an amazing physique are weighted chin-ups or weighted pull-ups. This exercise is way better than, lat pull-down. It's a completely more hard-hitting stimulus. And when you get really strong on the weighted pull-ups, the weighted chin-ups, what's going to happen is your physique is going to transform. You're going to build a much wider back, and as the back gets wider, you're going to create broader shoulders. That broader shoulders will create that V shape, and the V shape is like basically one of the key signs of physical attraction in men, having the broad shoulder to narrow waist look. And no exercise promotes that as well as pull-ups. People get confused. They think that building the wide shoulders is all about training shoulders. It's not true. Doing the shoulders will make your shoulders bigger, but in order to make them wider, you need to create big, strong lats. And so weighted chin-ups and weighted pull-ups are amazing. You want to be progressing on that movement every single week. The next exercise that you want to do are incline presses. So as opposed to flat bench, you want to use a bit of an incline. That will hit more upper chest. That way when you add muscle, you'll have even thickness from the bottom to the top of your chest. This will create a much more masculine aesthetic look. Now, it's not to say that you don't want to do flat bench. You just want to really stress the importance of incline work. Most people do not give it enough attention, so they add too much muscle to the lower, and the top is flat, which looks kind of like boobies, which is not ideal. And thirdly, you want to get strong on the overhead presses, seated dumbbell shoulder presses or standing barbell presses. This will create solid size to the shoulders. Most people don't do enough, they don't focus hard enough on overhead pressing. This will, really, it'll add, help with the upper chest as well, but it'll really add solid size to the shoulders to give them a really masculine appearance. And finally, you want to do some heavy curls. Heavy curls are important. People want to say, like, don't curl, it's unfunctional. But the truth of the matter is you're not going to build great biceps that really pop out unless you do heavy curls. You got to get your curls strong. Weighted chin-ups and weighted pull-ups will hit your biceps, but not nearly as much as, heavy, really hard curls. And I find that barbell curls or, just bicep curls are more important than tricep work because triceps get very strong when you're doing like overhead presses, incline bench. You'll build great triceps with those movements. And I find that most people can build great triceps with mostly compound movements. But the biceps, you really need to do some direct work. Now, that's not to say I don't do any direct tricep work. I do, but I do about, quite a bit more bicep work than direct tricep work. So those are the 4 movements that you really want to focus on. And it's all about relative strength. So when you get your waist down, you're going to weigh a lot less than you think. Meaning someone that's like 6 feet tall is probably going to look best around 180 pounds with like that 32-inch waist, which is about 45% of the height. So you're not going to be like a 200-plus pounder. If you want to go for the higher weight, if you want to be heavier, you're just going to sacrifice tons of definition and you're going to look worse. In fact, when you lean down while maintaining muscle, most people will think that you've gained weight just because you look so much better. So it really comes down to relative strength. You want to be able to lift more weight without having to be really heavy. Meaning, someone that is like 180 pounds overhead pressing 180 pounds, that's far more impressive, and they're going to look far better than a guy that's 220, lifting the same weight. The more you can lift relative to your body weight, the better you're going to look, because that requires a high level of muscle mass relative to body fat, meaning you have better body composition. The stronger you are relative to your body weight, generally speaking, the better body composition you have. Now, using myself as an example, I'm 175 pounds right now. I overhead press 185 standing strict for 5 reps. I do weighted pull-ups with 120 pounds for 4 reps. We got dogs barking right now. Hopefully they shut up soon. I do barbell curls 145 for about 6 reps. And I do incline press about 255 for about 5-6 reps. So that's my relative strength. And the reason, and because I have that level of relative strength on those lifts, is the reason I look like this. That's not to, I'm not trying to impress you, just trying to impress upon really the simplicity of what building a great physique takes. Build your relative strength. And in order to optimize your training, you only want to lift about 3 days a week. Every other day, you'll come in stronger, you'll be more refreshed. And the less you do, the easier it is to make progress. If you start doing way too many exercises, way too many sets, it's going to be so hard to progress on those 4 movements. When you keep it simple, 2-3 hard sets, 4 or 5 exercises per workout, you're going to make killer gains. Now, obviously, I still left so much up. There's a lot of confusion probably, so a lot of questions you guys still have. So I would recommend, check out my free report. It's about building, muscle, like really aesthetically. And I have like a free email series teaching you really what it takes to build this type of physique. So, sign up there, check it out. You can get some awesome tips, and subscribe if you haven't already. We'll talk soon. Now, a couple quick things before I forget. Yes, there are other exercises you want to do, and yes, you want to work your legs and, work your abs, but don't lose focus on these 4 movements. This is your biggest priority, increasing your strength in these 4 movements. In fact, I recommend right now tracking down, or in the next couple of days, finding out exactly what you score on these 4 movements. And then every single month or every single week, you want to improve on them. As you're improving on these movements, your physique is going to look much better. Secondary, not even secondary, but just as important, you want to, first thing in the morning, measure your waist right around your belly button level. Don't suck in, don't push out, right here. Find out what your waist is. See how many inches you have to drop to get it to about 45% of your height. And, you want to bring that waist down. You want to bring those lifts up. And then as you get your lifts up and you bring that waist down, just like clockwork, your body's going to look better. More ab definition, chest, everything's going to look harder, more dense and defined. When you get that waist down, you get your lifts up, you're going to look like a Greek god. And then to create that superhero effect, where you just have just a ton of muscle size and fullness, you got to implement the mega training, which is something that I'll talk about soon. But that's for the more advanced guys that are already looking lean, fit, and muscular. But anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to go over to hit the link over here. There's a link right here. Check it out. It's going to basically teach you my approach to training to build a great body, because I hit on a bunch of important points, but I haven't really given you a workout or anything to follow to get to your goal. So here's basically a free muscle building series to teach you how to build a great physique, and it's gonna be really cool. Plus, you'll get a bunch of you get my free email series, taking you day by day, educating you on the Kinobody method to building a great body. Anyways, this video has gotten way too long. Hopefully you're still watching. And anyways, thank you guys. We'll talk soon. Take care.